Several months ago, Chris Burres and Patty Greer introduced me to ESS-60, the Nobel Prize-winning molecule that made rats live 90% longer in the historic Paris Baati Study. I was skeptical, but I agreed to try it. Well, today they are back, and I need to share what's happened. The brain fog I battled for years gone, joint pain I thought was permanent, virtually eliminated. My energy levels, mental clarity, my recovery time have transformed in ways I didn't think were possible at my age. And with the amount of work I have to do here at the Next News Network, with the amount of production and processing and mental faculty that needs to be fully engaged, this stuff has been a serious game changer, no lie. Now, my wife's skin continues to amaze everyone who sees her. She was actually at the doctor today, and you know what happened? The doctor asked her age, and they were shocked. Okay, my wife gets this all the time. Now, this molecule, we're going to talk about it, it's 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. It's worth more than gold per ounce and has delivered on every promise. Chris and Patty, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you guys here. I do need to start with my continued results because my energy levels, the eliminated brain fog, the joint pain relief, and I guess some of the quarrels I have with my wife fighting over this stuff. I mean, just trying to get this interview off the ground today, I had to where's the stuff, honey? Where is it? And I was pulling it from my bathroom sink, and she's like, well, can I take some real quick? I want to put it on my face. And she's looking for the lip balm. I said, no, you can do it after the interview. All right. And then she asked me specifically, she said, do you have the cream? She says, do you have the cream? And I said, yes, I have it down in the studio. And she goes, okay. She's like, but this is the best stuff right here. And I'll personally tell you guys that this stuff, if your wife puts it on her body, it's like she's candy. All right. She comes to me, she smells amazing. And, she feels great too. So maybe that's too much information. I don't know. But how does this product, ESS-60, create these lasting improvements month over month? I mean, I take it every morning, all right? And I personally love taking it every morning. It's it's a new ritual for me. And so I'll take 2 tablespoons. And what's wild about it is that personally, I feel, satiated with it. I feel full. I don't need to rush into my breakfast with it, which is really wild. And maybe I'm going to take some now, but maybe you guys can help me understand what's going on in my body right now.
Well, I'm going to toast you.
Oh yes, a toast sounds great to me. Yes.
Do a toast to Charlie Kirk.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, to Charlie.
Yeah,
to Charlie. Oh, I really do like the taste of it. I usually do 2. So, and
so you asked what might be going on. I am the geeky scientist. I'll try and keep kind of my piece simple. We understand that the molecule, and it looks like this, right? So it's a if you're listening, imagine a soccer ball where the lines on the soccer ball represent the bonds between the carbon atoms. So you have a spherical molecule of 60 carbon atoms. As you said, the scientists who discovered it won the Nobel Prize. So they discovered it in 85. They won the Nobel Prize in 96. They thought it would be toxic. Instead of being toxic, the test subjects lived 90% longer than the control group. We know from peer-reviewed published research that it gets into the mitochondria, right? The powerhouse of every cell. And we also know that it can hold up to 6 negatively charged particles on the exterior of this cage. So what that really translates into is it holds on to the negative byproducts that come out of the mitochondria, right? So just like every powerhouse, there's a negative byproduct. It holds on to those negative byproducts so they can't do any damage. And then when that mitochondria can get back to its homeostasis, it can manage them properly. Thinking about it like this, it's a bucket O, I'm in Texas, so it's a bucket O stress. It holds the stress, the extra stress in it, so it can't run around and do damage in your body. And then when your body kind of replenishes the natural antioxidants to manage it, it just goes into that bucket so that it's not actually doing any damage. And so really the summary is we believe it's reducing the negative impact of stress mitochondria, and you're reducing the negative impact of stress mitochondria. You would have all the testimonials you just shared. By the way, I am going to throw out the FDA has not evaluated our product. It is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease. But we do, in fact, have head-to-toe testimonials with our most consistent being people take it in the morning, they report mental focus and energy during the day, and then better sleep that night.
You know what's interesting is we have a new FDA. There's a new sheriff in town over Health and Human Services, so I'm sure things are going to change very soon, especially with the big announcement that we had with respect to certain pain relievers and that kind of thing over with RFK Jr. A miracle news for so many families. But Patty, I think what your story I think is really the most compelling because you were literally knocking on death's door. Maybe like recap for our viewers who may have missed that story because I think it's fascinating.
Well, thank you. I used to be a UFO filmmaker, and I specialized in crop circles. I was the only filmmaker that not only made movies in the English crop circles, but I was the only one invited into the lab of William Levengood, who was the only scientist in the world that delivered the truth about crop circle seeds, bringing us up to 400% more food and biofuel per plant, with up to 75% more nutrition per seed. And because I brought this information in my eighth movie that won a couple of EB awards that are hiding back behind my flowers, it won the Best Feature Film UFO in 2017 and the People's Choice Award because the people really loved being told the truth. But then I became the most, I'm sorry to say, suppressed filmmaker in UFO history. What happened to me? I won't even elaborate. It'd be too time consuming. But even my original music, I had 5 copyright claims on YouTube, and it was my original music. So it was endless and horrible. And then my body got wounded because they wanted me to be quiet. And I can't elaborate on that. But 5 years later, I was still here. So somebody put uranium in my garage in 2019. I know exactly who it was. And so I got real quiet in the field of UFOs. I just threw my hands up and realized that all the greats have passed away in the last few years, starting when it got infiltrated, the events. And then when they started to affect my body intentionally, I left the field. I said, fine, I hear you. No more gigs, no more nothing. So I left the field, but the uranium really was a ripper. And I had a lot of bad effects from that. But I got out of the house because I knew that it must have been something up there. And
No,
as I was packing with the movers, I found the uranium.
yeah, I mean, I want to just kind of pause there for a second because like that's a standard like international espionage style hit. Like they poison you with radioactive material. And this is what you found that someone had put in your garage.
Yep. And so Chris was generous enough to send me a giant bottle, which I have
Well,
been
how did
taking.
you meet? Well, how did you meet Chris through all of this? Because it's amazing. I mean, you guys are doing amazing things with this product. So, I mean, how did you meet him? How did he bring the bottle to you? And how did that relationship start?
Well, he didn't literally bring the bottle to me. Somebody was gifting me samples from his lab, and
Wow.
I started to walk again, and I started to recover really quickly. And then I started detoxing from the uranium, and I had to change my clothes every 2 hours. I was drenched with detox. It affected me so quickly, and I went to every kind of doctor, and they don't believe you when you say uranium. So. I didn't want to seem crazy and have them put me in some other place that they like to do. So I just realized that this was making me feel better. And I was like, where's it coming from? And I had already been in conversations with Chris and his partner because the product helped me. And as
So
soon as they
somebody,
realized,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but someone basically was just kind of giving you this stuff, like from the lab, like we got this stuff, you should really try it out, and then like everything just changed from there.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of small companies that were buying from Chris and Robert's lab because they're the only lab in the world that was selling it in America that was worthy. So it was an easy choice to buy from them in Houston, Texas, USA made. And once I realized it was all coming from their lab, the good stuff, it wasn't as good as what we're selling now. So I contacted Chris and Robert, and they knew that I was the big mouth on the radio that was the UFO girl that was attacked a couple times and survived because of their ESS-60. So I started looking into the peer-reviewed reports, and every great claim was only products from their lab. So on this telephone call, we both realized who each other was, and they said, let's be partners. And I said, I'm up for it. And they said, how soon can we fly you here? And within an hour, I had a one of those agreements, an NDA, so that, we would agree to work together. And then they gave me a ticket for the following weekend when I was available. I was going to fly out Monday. And Friday, I was rushed out of my house in an ambulance because the the radioactive materials really affected me. So I went to the hospital and I did report, but I reported to the sheriffs in Boulder County, but for some reason they don't care. So I don't
Well,
care.
they don't care because they know that someone bigger than them is behind it. So they're basically told to shut up, look the other way. This woman's talking too loud, and she's collateral damage in our deep state conspiracy to keep information from the American people. I mean, we know the story.
And it's a miracle that I'm here today, radiantly
Amen.
healthy again, and never going to go through that again. I have spoken my piece, and I've gotten really quiet about the field of UFOs. Just yesterday, somebody writing a book asked me for my statements. He knows exactly what I went through because he was backstage at the big events. And so this morning, I kind of re-edited, sent him my version, but being very careful not to say anything that could make people mad again. Everything makes people
Wow.
mad that are mad people. So I just do my best, but I've got a great life now. I'm selling a product that's changing people's lives, even yours and your wife, around the world. I mean, it is so satisfying to wake up every day and read the comments. And I supply my entire family and all my close friends with the product because it's the one thing I can do for them that they just go, wow, Patty, you're really kicking it. The products make such a difference. And all my family members, they say, I just want to take a bath in your tangerine body.
Yeah.
Now, your wife smells like candy walking by, but have you
Oh
put it?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you,
This stuff. I'm sorry. It's an aphrodisiac. Okay. Let's just call it what it is. All right. It really is. Oh my goodness.
well, do I dare say you may as well start putting it on yourself so that she won't be able to walk by you either?
Well, that's why I put the face cream on, because that stuff smells like roses, and she loves flowers. So that's my secret weapon. Okay. All
Way
right.
to go. Well, plus, now that you're taking this, your brain is constantly more awake, more clear. And Chris has a great explanation of the amount of mitochondria in every cell and why we have mental clarity when we take this.
Well, and I want to bring Chris into this because you mentioned making people mad, and Big Pharma doesn't like it when you're using things that are outside of their scientific control, as we just saw with President Trump and Robert F. Kennedy just this week. So, Chris, tell us about this study, the Paris study, about the 90% life extension. I think this is fascinating.
Yeah, so at one point, my director of research came to me and said, hey, that original paper out of the University of Paris could have been 5 separate research papers. I think when you think in terms of longevity, there's another aspect of that longevity study that's really important, which is a typical Wistar rat lives about 32 months and has a known amount of tumor mass in its body. The longer it lives, the more tumor mass it has in its body. Even though the C60 Evo rats lived out to 62 months, so a full 90% longer, none of them had any tumors. So they should have had twice the tumor mass. None of them had any tumors. Now, I've told that story to a number of people, and they've shared, oh, cure for cancer. And I've said no. And then I followed that up with no. Like, there's a big difference between being a cure for cancer or a cancer that has metastasized and potentially being a cancer preventative. We actually know things as simple as good exercise, good sleep, good nutrition are cancer preventatives. And so that piece of the study throws our molecule, the ESS-60 molecule in the C60 Evo formula, into the arena of being a cancer preventative. So I think that's really important. In terms of like mental clarity, so the mitochondria we know is the powerhouse of every cell. There's between 50 and 5,000 mitochondria in every cell in our body, except for our blood cells, which have 0, and our brain and neurons, which have 2 million. So when you think about a molecule that's getting into the mitochondria, that's from peer-reviewed published research, that's holding on to the negative byproducts of the mitochondria. Think about your car going down the road, it has exhaust. That's the negative byproduct. So the ESS60 molecule is holding on to that negative byproduct until the body can get back to managing it. And so we're reducing that negative impact of stressed mitochondria. By the way, how do you stress a mitochondria? I like to point out you live in this modern era and you have stressed mitochondria, whether it's smog or the stress of social media these days, tough conversations, airplane flights have more EMFs, sunburns. Like there's just
Oh,
so many
wow.
ways to stress your mitochondria. And so this is reducing that impact of stress mitochondria. Again, with 2 million in your brain, it is no wonder that we have our most consistent testimonial being mental focus and energy, better sleep at night. And then we also get really amazing testimonials that are related to kind of emotional balance, right? One testimonial out of the UK, I'll always remember this because when I got the lady's video, she started off by saying she was in the middle of quitting smoking. And if you've ever been around somebody who's quitting smoking, my parents used to quit multiple times as I was growing up, and they were not pleasant to be around when they were quitting smoking, and neither were their friends when they were quitting smoking. So when she said that, I thought this was going to be a horrible video. Like this is going to be the worst testimonial video ever. Not only was it a really good testimonial video, which is a testimonial to like even overcoming the stress of quitting smoking, but she said this one line that I'll never forget, which is, I find myself having a longer fuse with my 5-year-old. Now, if you're a parent, you know, or just in life, you know there's a fuse, right? Some days the fuse is short, some days the fuse is longer. It depends on a
Mm-hmm.
multiple, like, are you hungry? Or have you had a good night's sleep? Have you had a
Yeah.
stressful day? But the fact that she had a longer fuse while quitting smoking with her 5-year-old really, really kind of resonated with me as like, yeah, there's 2 million mitochondria in your every brain cell. We're supporting that. And so, yeah, not surprising that she has a longer fuse.
Now, is there any other substance that matches these results? Because I mean, the antioxidant value is off the charts.
Yeah, so ad hoc web study shows us 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. Peer-reviewed published research shows us 125 times more powerful than vitamin C. When you throw in, and this I've been kind of hinting around the BOSS theory, which is a buffering oxidative stress system. That's where this molecule is that bucket that holds on to those negative byproducts. When you throw that into the mix, now you have this understanding that no, there isn't anything. I mean, just think about this. Let's just say hey, here's a supplement you take in the morning and positive. Let's skip the focus and energy. That's a nice benefit, but it positively impacts your sleep at night. I'm not aware of anything that you can take in the morning to positively impact sleep. You can certainly get exercise, right? That'll positively impact sleep. You could get some exposure to the sun and get your circadian rhythm in line with the rising and falling of the sun. That'll help you sleep that night. But to take something in the morning and positively impact sleep at night, I mean, it just speaks to the fact that we're operating at a subcellular level. A lot of supplement companies are really excited and use it in all their literature. We are operating at the cellular level, and they should, because there are supplements that don't even do that. We don't operate at the cellular level. We operate at the subcellular level, at the level of the mitochondria, at the level of
Wow.
the energy source, the power source for every cell in your body. It's not surprising that we have testimonials from head to toe.
So that's how it works differently than other antioxidants.
Yes, where other antioxidants are really waiting until that mitochondria gets overwhelmed and those reactive oxygen species are running around damaging things. And then those vitamin C's, D's, E's are coming in and managing those reactive oxygen species. We're in there as this kind of a bucket, this oxidation bucket, holding on to those particles before they even get to the position where they can do any damage. And
Wow.
then your body, again, we're just supporting the body's efforts so that it's giving it a buffer, some space where we can hold on to that stress until the body can get back to homeostasis and then can manage that stress properly.
So what's happening like with the blood-brain barrier, the mental clarity I've experienced?
Yeah, so there is some debate in the scientific community of whether the molecule crosses the blood-brain barrier. Um, I am on the side of it, just given our testimonials and the fact that it gets into the mitochondria, right? This is such a small molecule. I believe it is, in fact, crossing the blood-brain barrier. And it would be hard to explain all of our kind of focus and energy, right? Because it's not energy. You're not, it's not a twitchy coffee energy. It's just you've got more energy. Like you can push through that next piece of research or that next broadcast that you have to do. That's
Yeah.
brain energy, right? That's brain, and then the focus to be able to do the research and come off intelligent on that third broadcast in a day. That's brain focus. How is that going to happen without it crossing the blood-brain barrier? So I'm absolutely in the camp that it's crossing, getting into the mitochondria, again, 2 million in every cell in your brain, and then supporting it, reducing the negative impact of stressed mitochondria.
Well, since I started taking it, and like I mentioned earlier, like I have to process a lot of information every day, and like I have noticed an increase in my clarity and my output, which like it's a noticeable difference. That's all I can say. Like my ability to multitask has increased significantly. It's really wild to be perfectly honest with you. That I'm taking, an olive oil with this ESS60, and like to be honest with you, like when I look at the products and I go, well, which one? Because I ran out, because this is actually an empty bottle. I ran out of this, and then I ran out of this. Here's a full one here, but I have another empty one. And then I was looking at like the avocado oil, and I'm looking at the amount of ESS60 in this, and I'm going, you know what? This one's got 60 milligrams versus this one that has what is it?
80.
100, eight.
About 80.
Yeah. So this is the coconut oil.
Oh,
Right.
that's the coconut. It'll have
This is
30.
the coconut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what, like, I personally, I'm like, I want to go full throttle, like in everything I do. So for somebody that may not be as intense as myself, when we look at these products, which one do you think is the best one for people to take?
The olive
You-
oil, for sure, because it holds 0.8 milligrams per milliliters. It's the one that's been used in every peer-reviewed test that we've supplied product for. But I think the most important thing about all these peer-reviewed tests is that the formula came from our lab in Houston, Texas. And again, I repeat, a lot of people are selling products that they pretend have the results that our ESS60 delivers, but they didn't buy their products from our lab. So it's kind of paraphrasing the truth of what we do. And it's unfortunately, we hear from other people, I bought this other product from this company. I didn't have any results. It's like, well, why don't you get the good stuff from ESS60, from C60 Evo? And then the difference is immediate and massive. You take a teaspoon or a tablespoon of that right there, you are going to notice it. Even the most stubborn people are like, an hour later, oh, I do feel a little different. So the simpleton version of what Chris has described scientifically is that you take a spoonful in the morning and you have energy and mental focus all day long. Ultimately, all of us coincidentally sleep better at night because you've been going all day with a lot more energy. The thing that a lot of people don't realize is the 2 million mitochondria in the brain in every cell also includes the pineal gland back there
Oh,
that
really?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Maybe not 2 million, it might be somewhere in between, Chris has reiterated to me. But when you've got your pineal gland all clustered up from the things in the arm that a lot of people took, they are noticing, the morgues are saying coincidentally, not just the white, terrible things in the veins, but they're also finding that the pineal gland has been completely coated with stuff so that it just doesn't speak to spirit and
Well,
God.
the calcification of the pineal gland from fluoride intake, which we know is now under scrutiny by the new Health and Human Services Department.
Thank God.
So this helps break through that.
Yeah, and the way that they were putting all those shots in children has also been changed, and that's going to help so many people around the world. And even though a lot of people are still saying we want Rachel Levine back for Health and Human Services, come on, Rachel Levine or Bobby Kennedy Jr.
Yeah,
Rachel said more shots, or
yeah,
Richard said more shots. Bobby says, let's quit that. Let's get real. And
yeah.
yesterday was a massive day in American history. And I am trying to find somebody new on my team to really blow this information up on social media, because social media is really suppressing the good stuff. And for some reason, we are being slammed with a lot of, I'm going to call it C60 spam. So when people go look for C60 Evo, be sure it says EVO, because a lot of C60 is industrial grade, and it most likely is from Wuhan, China, or somewhere else
Ooh.
in China. So
No, thank you, please.
when
I've
people,
had enough of the wet market stuff.
you think? So when people say, do you have competition? The truth is, no, not really. But online, it's confusing because perhaps the deep state or the dirty birdies, whatever, are pushing forth a lot of products that are going to be disappointing and that are made with olive oil from Costco and C60 from China. So it's so easy not to do that if you just make sure it's C60 Evo, ESS 60. The ESS 60 is what inspired the name of our company to be C60 Evo. It means the evolution of the industrial grade C60 industry, which Chris and Robert have been in since 1991, even though he doesn't look old enough. They've been making industrial grade C60 for tires, batteries, ink for 34 years. And they were
That's
doing
wild.
just fine until people started calling the lab and saying, how much should I take? And Chris and Robert were like, none. And then I kept doing shows saying, I don't know what's in this, but I'm walking again. This stuff is helping me. And then they're like, who's this girl that, you know? And so when we had our phone call, it was very exciting because we knew each other. We just were ready to up the industry and say, let's bring in the good stuff. So, being the lab in America, the only lab that's probably producing good stuff in America in the carbon fullerene industry, we brought the Evo, which is the ESS 60. It's a cleaner version by far of the industrial grade C60, which is not recommended for people and pets. So, our product is the evolution of the industry, and you can tell the difference. You can make ink and batteries out of the industrial, or you can put this in your body and have the results that Gary's getting and that I'm getting. I'm still here. And I mean, when I talk to people in the UFO industry, I call it industry. It used to be the field. Now
Oh
it's the
boy.
industry. There's only a few people I'm willing to still talk to. Carol Rosin, the last card, she sends me these little texts now and then. My favorite people were the four-star generals, the real ufologists. And when I started in 2006, and then I had my first film in 2007 and presented it at this big international event, I got recognized quickly, and all the real daddies came in and said, I'm giving you my entire library of UFO images. And I was like so gifted and so I had so much fun that I had no idea, because I was so green, that there was all this infiltration that was all around.
Oh
And they
yeah.
flirt with you and they, ugh. Anyway, I'm
Well,
so glad.
Patty, I want to. We haven't mentioned the website officially yet. I don't think. But and I want to do that. But you got my brain going. I need to ask you, since you're the expert, about your quick take on the recent UFO hearings we've seen in Congress. Are we seeing the real deal stuff, or is this disinformation being put out to redirect us?
Yes.
If you can speak to that.
Number two, your second one is, I think it's all misdirecting.
Wow.
And I think that when I was making movies, 2007 to 2017, the greats were alive. In 2015, they started dying off. and we got infiltrated real badly. And all these actors came in, and all the greats passed away, and I got whacked, but I survived. And then I got hit with uranium, and I survived. So, do I feel interested in anything UFO today with the actors? No. And I don't mean to be a snob, but I watched it happen. I watched Robert Odine, Jim Mars, Stanton Friedman, Dolores Cannon, all the people that loved my movies and supported me die, 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 die. They went very quickly. It was, yeah, and I'm still kind of green going, why is everybody dying? And then I got whacked. So we were infiltrated, and I don't think it's going to come back because all the greats are gone. And all of the people that told the truth have been silenced, threatened, and hurt. So,
I mean, and I know we're here to talk about this product, but I have an expert in front of me, and I have to ask the questions. With respect to disclosure, everyone's talking. I mean, are we at the? I don't. How do I say this? Like, I'm optimistic for it, but I'm also like, nah, this is gonna be a bunch of crap, you know. Like, I'm watching these hearings, and like you said, this is misdirection, but like, when are we gonna like truly find out what's happening?
when the deep state is dissolved.
Ooh.
Now, when I spoke about Carol Rosin, she worked with Werner von Braun, and he came up with what they called the last card. And the last card was the fake alien invasion. So they knew this decades ago that when the government got dirty enough and they ran out of tricks like destroying the election system, hurting all the kids going to school, all these things that we know we've uncovered, the shots for decades for children, making everybody sick, bringing in all this autism, destroying fertility. All of this was very intentional. And so the last thing they're going to pull when they run out of dirty tricks is this fake alien invasion. So if
I
we can get rid
remember.
of all the honest people and bring in a bunch of actors to misdirect, misinform, then we're going to be able to pull off the holographic drone fake alien invasion. And I think that we might have gone past that because President Trump has been such a bulldog with
Oh
getting
yeah.
rid of the deep state. I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off, but boy, they sure tried. So, in my opinion, I haven't watched any of the UFO hearings. I haven't because I'm not interested in the actors. And maybe there's one or two good people that are up there speaking, but from my experience, I have no interest in what's going on in that industry
Wow.
today. And the last card is why they got rid of all the truth seekers and the honest four-star generals. We even had Edgar Mitchell, and he was great. He was supposedly an astronaut. We don't know if they made it to the moon. We don't know if they made it anywhere because I wasn't there to see it. I don't know. But I was there at the UFO events, and I was a top speaker for 10 years. And what I saw happen made me walk away from the industry and not look back. So I think it's probably setting us up for a fake alien invasion. I think that's what all this is about. And what I know about crop circles, and the crop circles that are getting in videos are getting 2 million views, it's like, I watch them and I'm like, what a crock. It's like kindergarten. And my videos are really still being stifled, but I haven't gone to war with it. I just, once I got hurt, I was like, oh my God, these people are really bad.
Yeah.
And then when I got poisoned, it, I knew the person. And I was just like, what happened to people? So we have to realize where we're at.
I do have to take off. I've got to run something else, so I'll let you guys keep going.
We've got
Chris,
this.
All
hey,
right.
thanks,
Cheers.
Chris. We'll see you again. Thank you for all your insight.
Thank you, Gary.
He's got to get back to
Okay.
the lab and keep making products.
Patty, I'm just fascinated by your story, your testimony, what you've experienced, what you know. I mean, we could talk about this stuff all day, but you've transitioned, from being a truth teller about, the UFO community, a whistleblower in that capacity, to now being a truth teller about this product and which is changing lives. There's one thing about, when people are out there They're intentionally deceiving individuals on different topics, whether it's in conventions or in Congress. But when you shift your life into something that can actually have tangible physical impact, I think that's a noble transition, and it's very hard. So I commend you for doing that, and I want my viewers to know exactly how they can experience what I'm experiencing. So perhaps you could tell them.
You bet. And I do feel like the luckiest girl in the world that I went from being attacked to being a partner of C60 Evo with the only lab in the world making the good stuff. So I think that God is coming around for all of us to rekindle our faith in every way possible. But I'm one of the few on the air that's never given up my faith because I see the end game, I see the big picture. And the reason I do is because I've been taking brain food for 6 years. I've been taking this product for 6 years. And the one thing I do want to reiterate is we are being severely spammed, and YouTube and Amazon encourage it by sticking all these sponsored products up when you type in our name to distract you and give you the crap. And I'm sorry to say it, it's crap from Wuhan, China. You want to get ESS 60, and the way to do it is our name, your initials, C60EVO, like evolution.com/NNN for Next News Network. You'll get this landing page that has a variety of products on it. And you'll also have a secret code from Gary to get 10% off at checkout. But we also offer all kinds of discounts. And I did notice something from your last show. A lot of the people in your audience that haven't tried the products, that are having tough financial times, were very critical of the price of our products, which I can understand initially when you say, "Oh my God, a bottle of, organic oil, $100." It's like, well, wait till you stop spending $200 a month on all those supplements that don't do anything, and you buy one bottle of C60 Evo, and all of a sudden within an hour you go, "Oh my God, I feel this." That's the difference between Evo and most supplements. This actually works. It won the Nobel Prize in 1996, and we've been making it since 1991. I'm pretty sure that the sample that won the Nobel Prize came from our lab because it was one in Houston, Texas, by 3 scientists, and our lab was down the street in Houston, Texas. So I don't think they reached out to Wuhan or to Russia for some industrial grade C60. I do believe that it came from our lab, but that's the only one Chris and Robert won't guarantee. But I can pretty much say it probably did. The Paris Baati study that delivered 90% longer life and that rats died without any tumors, first time in history. 90% is by far the longest longevity results in history for humans and animals.
Wow.
So mind boggling results, ESS 60, and you can get 4 ounce, 8 ounce, up to 32 ounce bottles. We have 3 different flavors, but the olive oil is the strongest. That's the reason we've used it on in the peer-reviewed studies. The avocado oil is super delicious, almost as strong. And then the MCT coconut is what I put in my morning coffee every day because I crawl to the kitchen, pour a tablespoon of this in, and I cook all day long. If I take a spoonful of the olive oil, which I usually add if I've got shows, I'm seriously cooking with my brain on fire. The reason we like to do it at the top of every show, and I say spoon, is because it sharpens us. It sharpens us like within 10 minutes so that we can get through the hour with full brain power. It's hard for people to believe that something in a bottle can make this much of a difference. All you have to do is try it. And the people that are saying, "Oh, it's so expensive. What's your health worth?" I mean, really, if you skip a couple of the things that you buy habitually, supplement wise, or aspirin or Tylenol. We know about Tylenol now. How many times did Trump say that yesterday?
Oh
15.
yeah.
God, he just was so redundant because he was making the point. I have sent 3 collection sets to Bobby Kennedy Jr. of all 3 oils. I've sent it. The first one went out, and then they said you need to have it blessed in a Catholic church. So the second and third collections were blessed for Bobby. But we're proud to say that we sent it to him, and he received 3 collection sets. I'm looking forward to him maybe presenting it to the public if it worked for him, but I can't guarantee that yet. I just know we're super proud.
Well,
We've
hey, until then you got me, right? Because
That's
I
right.
love it. I'm presenting it. I'm telling you what I'm feeling from it. Now, I'm not the Health and Human Services Director, but I think my results speak for themselves. My wife's results speak for themselves, and this magic body cream speaks for itself too.
You mean
Um,
the foreplay
Pat,
cream?
what's that,
You
Patty?
called it foreplay cream, I think.
Oh, Patty, you're gonna make me blush. All right, I think that's too late for that. Patty, it's great to have you here. Great to have you back. Do you have any other final thoughts before we go?
I do. I want people to know about the discounts because I want everybody to be able to afford it and try it.
Sure.
And it is so worth it, is all I can say. You will save 20% on any order if you sign up for a monthly subscription. And you're not obligated. If you don't love it, you can cancel 2 days after you try it. Most people don't. More than half of our sales are resubscribes. People stick with us for years and they stop buying all these other things that are phony, not working products. We give you a 15% discount on all of our sets, which is 2+ items. We have all the collection set. We also have this incredible facial serum that you said is your delicious scent.
Oh yeah. No, I love this stuff. I love the way it smells. I love the way it feels. It's good stuff. No, all
Great.
around.
Well, we suggest as the opening, we call this the starter set, but a bottle of olive oil and a bottle of the advanced facial serum is what we recommend to get people completely hooked. Your face, you'll notice it the very first morning. You put it on at night, you smell amazing, you'll have deeper dreams. And then when you wake up, you feel your skin. It's like, oh, come on, nothing works that fast.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the Youth Renew and the Youth Renew at Rose Activator are like that's my new favorite personally.
Oh, good.
I've been actually using the Youth Renew with the Rose for more than this. Just
Chris,
as of late, just I mean, because I started using this and I used up a whole bottle of it, and I didn't have this in my possession, the Youth Renew, so I started using that, and I don't know. I guess there's something about putting it in my hand, mixing it, and like smelling it. It just has a totally different experience for me, and I want to look my best. I got to be on camera every day, and I love the smell of it, and I love kind of teasing my wife when I put it on, and kind of go up to her, and she smells how rosy I smell. It's fun. It's fun, and it's great stuff.
the
And
difference in the facial serums is that the two part has peptides. That's the difference. And the reason that we
oh,
have two bottles and that you have to mix it fresh in your hand is so that we could avoid emulsifiers and chemicals. So we have you put the two products in the palm of your hand, freshly activate, and then put it on. So that's the difference is that one has peptides and the single bottle is not a peptide product. It's 21 natural organic vegan ingredients. This one is a wonderful also, plus peptides.
I love it. I love
Well,
it.
you look great. Your skin is amazing. And the biggest discount that we offer is 25% off if you purchase a dozen of any item. It's called a case. And we sell a lot of cases because that's a good size discount. And
It's
if
a
you
big
get sick
discount.
of it, you also add NNN at checkout and you'll get another 10% off. So
So that's a
these,
whole 35% off of a
yeah,
whole case.
yeah. I mean,
That,
people just need to use the discounts. Take 5 extra minutes or 1 minute, and you'll see, oh, that's really not that expensive. And when you get through your first bottle, you're going to definitely want the next one because you'll notice your skin is softer, your hair is growing quicker, even your fingernails grow quicker. Like everything in your body, once you clear that mitochondrial toxicity, everything functions better. And when your brain is functioning better, it tells the rest of your body, let's go.
all right. Well, Patty, thank you for joining us again. And too bad that Chris had to go. I know he had to get back to the lab, but I'm going to keep using this stuff, and I'm so thankful that you guys are sending this to me, because like when I'm running out, I'm like, oh no, I'm almost out. Like I get kind of freaked out because I take it every morning, and I really enjoy it.
You don't
So
ever
does my
have
wife.
to run out. You don't
What's
ever
that?
have to run out. You just send me an email and I'll take care of you. We take care of our influencers because you guys are leading the way. There's no more TV news. I think that died a year ago. And
Yeah.
you guys are the news now. And I think the smartest people on the air are the people taking Evo. You guys have a clear brain. You're totally consistent. And the other thing is, with 172 times the power of vitamin C, we don't need
Yeah.
to waste time getting sick.
Yeah.
And when you
I
got
can't afford it.
yeah, and when you've got sick pets and you can give them the dog formula with bacon essence or the cat formula with salmon, and all of a sudden they come back to the land of the living, it's a good thing. Uh, there's the dog and the cat formulas. And what that is the human formula, our number one product, the olive oil, plus an organic, natural flavors that the pets like. So C60 Evo .com/NNN. Take a look at the testimonials, take a look at the store. And when you get to the bottom, if you want to see all of our products and special sets for 15% off, just tap See More and it will take you to the entire store. But don't forget to use Gary's code so that you can get a 10% off discount at checkout. And we know that you heard us from his show.
Patty, thank you so much for joining us once again, and for your support of the show and support of our health, most importantly, and for sharing this with our viewers, because we want our viewers to have the best life experience possible. And I believe they can get that just like I am with your product. So thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. So Chris and Patty, they haven't just created a supplement, they've delivered the closest thing to a fountain of youth that science has ever produced. After months of daily use, my transformation isn't subtle, it's profound. Energy, clarity, pain relief, recovery, every aspect of my health has been improved. And I need it because of the intensity of the workload that I have here at this channel. Reviewing the news every single day is a trying, brain-intensive task. Now, of course, I love doing it, but I need to be as sharp as possible. And of course, having these supplements in my stable every day is worth every single penny. So what you just got wasn't a glimpse into what's possible when we optimize cellular function at the most fundamental level. ESS60 isn't just 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. It's operating on a completely different level of biological enhancement. Now, my results, okay, they're not unique. Thousands are experiencing the same transformation, okay? I've told you about my wife and what she's experiencing. This Nobel Prize-winning molecule that Chris has been perfecting since 1991 is rewriting what is possible for human longevity. So the website, c60evo.com/NNN. Make sure you use NNN when you check out, and take the maximum discount when you buy that case. That's the most important thing. So if people are going to complain about the price, you're not taking full advantage of the savings. Okay, so make sure you do that. Because when science delivers 90% life extension, waiting another day doesn't make any sense.